we're talking about a budget shortfall that's like less than 3%. Why is this all such a big issue?
Columbus City Schools talking about hundreds of job cuts because of a slightly smaller budget. We're doing math with the district next at 5.
It's a yes or no question. Do you see his knees or anything on the ground there?
I already answered that question.
Things getting testy over the small details. A forensic expert in the hot seat today during the trial of Connor Grubb.
Well, the Buckeyes are hosting UCLA tomorrow at the Shoe, and we're looking at how you may need to dress for tailgating and the game coming up.
ABC 6 News at 5 starts with this breaking news alert.
First tonight at 5, that breaking news on SNAP benefits in Ohio. The Department of Job and Family Services just announced within the last hour that full November benefits will be delivered by the middle of next week. Ohio has started the process of calculating the full benefits that households should have received in November. It will then deduct the partial amount that's already been paid. The normal distribution of SNAP is expected to resume in December.
Our big story tonight deals with that budget deficit at Columbus City Schools. The district says cutting $50 million will eliminate hundreds of positions.
While that is a lot of money, it is truly just a small percentage of the district's annual budget. Kirsten Lindquist is on your side doing some math with the district tonight. Kirsten?
West High School right now, where you can see CCS leaders are helping out those families that have been impacted by those SNAP benefit cuts. Those families have had to make a lot of tough decisions, and the district has had to make some of their own tough decisions. Of course, I'm talking about the budget. There have been a lot of conversations about what's the most efficient way to make those cuts, but some say what's on the table is reckless and harmful.
These are children. They should be the state's #1 priority. Educating our kids, and it's not.
Big decisions and big cuts coming Columbus City Schools' way. According to district estimates, more than 400 positions could be cut in an effort to save money, including teachers, social workers, counselors, and bus drivers.
The last time I checked, the treasurer's office and the internal auditor are not really there at frontline instruction. Right. I'm sure that they should, those other two direct reports should also be part of the sacrifice.
All because of a $50 million budget shortfall. Now that sounds like a lot of money until you consider the district's annual budget is $1.8 billion.
So we're talking about a budget shortfall that's like less than 3%. Why is this all such a big issue?
We know we have issues of poverty and things like that, and they need to be addressed in order to be successful.
And not only is it a lot of money, the total budget is over $600 million more than the city's budget.
And we're still talking about that money not being enough to make sure that our kids have the resources they need.
What are you alluding to?
I'm just asking, is the $1.8 billion not enough money?
It's not cheap to run 110 buildings, but when you look at like what we're trying to run on, and if we need more money, then obviously we should be fully funded per the Constitution of the state of Ohio.
Other discussions have included making cuts to bus routes and partnering with CODA to get high schoolers to campus. Another plan looks at closing schools operating below 60% capacity. Those could also save the district millions. CEA says they understand the cuts are necessary, but the decisions need to be made with the kids on the other end in mind.
They decided to just not fund public education. So budgets are a priority, and right now our politicians in the state of Ohio are saying public education is not a priority. Bottom line.
Now, I spoke to Superintendent Dr. Angela Chapman just moments ago. She said there are still a lot of options being explored, including ones that would not make those classroom cuts. She said that any cuts to staff that would be made would not impact those class sizes, because those are all things that have been negotiated before the school year starts. But she did tell me that the city's school district faces a lot of unique challenges that other districts don't face.
enrollment alone doesn't tell the story. When we have a majority of our students coming to us, like today, we're here at a school where a significant number of our families are dealing with food insecurity, housing insecurity, lack of health care. Those lack of resources and the lack of disinvestment in our community certainly puts us in a different position, because when we know that our students come to school, we have to remove all of those non-academic barriers so that we can support them so that they can be successful in the classroom.
Now, the full Board of Education is expected to vote on this plan in December. Any of the changes that would be implemented would take effect for the 2026 school year. But of course, they want your input before any decision is made. The next board member listening session is tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. On your side, I'm Kirsten Lindquist, ABC 6 News.
Let's dig deeper into the district's budget. Rodney Dunnigan breaking down those numbers tonight. And Rodney, they're working with what does seem like a lot of money.
All right, Jessica, we're going to throw a lot of numbers at you. The school district has more money to work with again than the city of Columbus by more than $500,000. The district budget is $1.8 billion. That's more than the city of Columbus has to build roads, pay police and fire salaries, and invest in community upgrades. The city also has 10,000 employees, 9,000 people work for the school district. So the big question tonight, where does all of that money go? The district website lays it all out. The actual money spent since the beginning of July, the start of the fiscal year, is $586 million. There's $1 billion in the general fund. Health insurance costs is about $225 million a year, and the district payroll is $232 million. Improvement projects are budgeted at $161 million, all the way down to $96 for the Title 2D technology. That $96 has not been spent just yet. So what about other school districts? The Columbus City School District is the largest in Ohio by more than 10,000 students. So we will compare CCS with districts of similar sizes across the country. Take a look at this. Okay, Collier County schools in Florida have about 48,000 students, and they have a budget of $1.6 billion. But they have an A rating and is one of the top 10 districts in the entire state. Let's move on over to Texas. San Antonio Independent Schools has 44,000 students and a budget of just $541 million, and they have a C rating from the state. Over in Arizona, Tucson Unified Schools have 42,000 students and a $665 million budget, but they have an A rating from the state. And let's take it on up to Portland. Now, their schools are noted as above average, but Oregon schools in general are considered some of the worst in the nation. They have a $2 billion budget for 44,000 students. As for CCS, they have a 2 rating out of 5 from the state. So the big question tonight, is all of this money going to the district actually worth it? Well, it's pretty hard to say. Similar districts are doing a lot better with a lot less. Of course, we will keep digging into those numbers.
Thank you for watching the ABC 6 News YouTube channel, bringing you breaking news, stories, sports, and original content throughout Central Ohio. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe as well so you don't miss out. ABC 6 News is on your side.